some of you, the Redmi Note 8 Pro could be a phone only for gaming, but for many others, it's about the camera as well. The Redmi Note 8 Pro is going to launch in India pretty soon, and it comes with a quad camera combination, which is similar to what the Realme XT also offers. So there's a 64 megapixel camera that is given here as a primary sensor. There's a wide angle camera, there's a depth sensor as well, and there's a macro camera for those close-up shots. A similar combination, but how good is it for itself? We aren't comparing the phones here. It's only about the Redmi Note 8 Pro here. So let's start with what the actual module here is. So the center module here, the vertical one, has three cameras. The top one is actually the depth sensor. The second one, or the center one, is the 64 megapixel Samsung's GW1 sensor, and the next one is the 8 megapixel 13 wide camera. That's for the wide angle shots. And the sensor that is present outside the center module, just below the flash, is that macro lens. So these are the four cameras that are offered here, and under the camera application there's so much to offer. So actually there are a few things that are outside the camera app as well. So first, let's start with what is offered in the camera application. You get the modes such as photo, video, short video, slow motion. Under slow motion, again you have the 960 fps slow motion video recording that would take HD resolution, that's 720p resolution. There's also a dedicated 64 megapixel camera mode, and you don't have to this time go around and find that, because it's just beside the actual photo mode. And in the photo mode, if you go, you see 1x, then 2x. It doesn't have a telephoto camera separately, but it would do quite a good lossless 2x capture. And there's also the 0.6x, which takes advantage of the 8 megapixel wide angle camera there. There's the portrait mode. Again, for the portrait mode, the thing here is that while you take a portrait capture, you can later on go and change the aperture size or the background blur, which is a good thing here. This was possible on some of the phones like the Honor phones earlier, Realme, and the ColorOS still does not offer this feature. But in the photo editing tools, you can change the aperture size in this Xiaomi's smartphones, and even on this one, that's the Redmi Note 8 Pro. Under the Pro mode, you are able to change the lens. You can change the lens from macro or the wide, that's the regular camera, or the ultra wide. And there's also the mode to switch the 64 megapixel ultra HD mode. That's the resolution of 6936 into 9248 pixels. So you can not just change the resolution here, you can also change the white balance, the focus, the shutter speed, and also the ISO range. Now under the video, you have the 4K video recording possible at 30 fps. Full HD videos can be taken at 60 fps and 30 fps, but you have the gyro EIS possible for the Full HD videos at 30 fps. So that is the video possibility here. And now to switch to the macro mode, there's a button that is present towards the top. Just beside the AI option, you get this macro option. So whenever you tap on that, it activates the macro lens there that is present on the back of the phone. And under the settings, you have the camera frame options, where you can switch it from 3:4 to 9:16, and also the camera frame that's full, which is the 19.5:9 aspect ratio. But that usually is something you shouldn't be choosing, because usually we take shots at 4:3 or 9:16. And there's also the 1:1 if you are one of those Instagrammers who wants to take the square shots. Under the settings, you find options such as the pocket mode, where the touch gestures are all locked when the phone is placed in the pocket. You also have the mirror front camera if you're taking a selfie, and next is the watermark. You can turn that on or off. And the good thing under watermark, if you haven't noticed, is that whenever you take a 64 megapixel camera capture, it would show it as 64 MP quad camera. Otherwise, for the regular shots, it shows it differently. It actually shows as AI quad camera. So in case you took a 64 megapixel capture, in the watermark you get to know that this was that 64 MP capture that you took. And now here are the different camera samples that we have taken. We have taken all the camera samples such as HDR, wide angle captures, the macro captures, as well as the portrait shots, and a couple of quick video captures as well, for you to understand whether you would like this or not. And we aren't being the judge. Some of the areas where we felt that the captures are taken close to what it looks in the natural conditions, we are mentioning that in the video itself. And you be the judge. You can see whether the pictures are good enough for you, and then decide whether the phone has a good camera combination here or not. And you can also check the description below for the link to the Google Drive, where we'll have the actual full resolution pictures for you to zoom in and see if the picture quality and the details are good enough. So these are the videos being taken on the Realme XT and the Redmi Note 8 Pro. Full HD videos with the 60 FPS frame rate. And now the audio that you are hearing right now is on the Realme XT. So this is what you are going to hear on the Realme XT. And next, now this is going to be on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. Though this is not a good judgment of the microphones, but at least you will be able to see the stability here and also the colors that are being shown here. So these are bare hands, it's not any tripod being used or any stabilizer being used. So whatever you see here is a stable footage. So this is the selfie video recording on the Realme XT as well as on the Redmi Note 8 Pro, and you can check out the exposure controls here on the back. Also the field of view, it's a bit wider on the Redmi Note 8 Pro. We are holding both the phones together, so obviously you can see the shoulders and everything that is clearly seen here. And also on the Realme XT it seems like it's a bit more natural but also not so well in focus, and you can see the colors in the background, the blur in the background. There's quite a lot of difference. No settings changed, everything is natural. There's no AI beautification being done here on the selfies. So this was the full camera review of the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 8 Pro smartphone that's coming with a quad camera setup. So this was all about the Redmi Note 8 Pro's camera setup. I hope you like this video. If you do share and subscribe to Gizmo for more. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.